Hi, welcome to Poetry Club's 2020 Poetry Reading Celebration in honor of National Poetry Month. I'm Mrs. Rabideau.
And I'm Mr. Martelli.
I thought I'd give a little background to the club before passing the mic over to our president, Jillian. Poetry Club was started 4 years ago in Mr. Martelli's classroom. We were just trying to gauge any interest and see if we could find any underground poets in Saugerties High School. We found a small group of about 4 or 5 poets, and it has grown every year since then. We are now a legit, bona fide, recognized club and have been for 3 years. And this is our 3rd annual poetry reading. So I hope you all enjoy the voices that are here and enjoy the poems that you hear on this virtual reading. And I'm going to pass the mic over to Jillian.
Hi, I'm Jill, and I'm the president of the Poetry Club. I just wanted to say how amazing and talented each and every one of these poets are. I think it's really amazing that we're able to work together and keep up with one of the most important traditions that Poetry Club has to offer. And even though Ms. Milgram isn't here to give us tiny water bottles this year, we're still going to hear some lovely poems. I want to give an extra special thank you to Matt, who came up with and is editing this video. He's definitely bringing some light into the dark. I also want to thank Miss Rab and Mr. Martelli, who have been a big reason that I've missed going to school every day. And also I want to thank Poetry Club, because they're a big family, and I hope that we get to reunite soon. Alright, so let's get to some poems.
Hello, everybody. This is Flynn Steyer, and today I will be presenting the poems I have written for the virtual Poetry Club reading. So here is The Circle Opens to Friend City. I wrote this in spite of me making new friends before Regents. So here it is. Friends, the companions who have been with me since the dawn of my time, our bond, tight as a knot in a rope, will never break. However, the more friends I make, the comforting dome of my friendship grows as big as a city. Friend City, a place that people love each other. Friend City, the place where people tell each other's problems. Friend City, the warm and loving place where people can communicate and frolic and laugh and cry. And no matter what happens to the buildings within the city, they will always be rebuilt and stay strong until old age brings us back to the roots of friends before us. And here's the other one, Teen World. We don't have to be judged about the teenage stereotypes. It's just ridiculous. This is what it's based on. So, what is this world we live in? A list of people who are on top who look down at others, and at the bottom people envy others? Where people travel in packs like wolves and coyotes, outcasts and popular, jocks and goths, idiots and foreigners. It's such nonsense. An open heart allows us to flow equally in a river of people, in a crowd of us teens. We don't need labels to define us. We do what we like. We do what brings us joy. We are not part of a scroll of teen stereotypes. That scroll should be torn, ripped apart by our teen hands. We are not multiple groups. We are not jocks or outcasts. We are all one, part of the tapestry of teenhood. Thank you.
Hi, it's me again. So I wrote a poem back in October when I went to Italy, and this is kind of just about my experience with going to Italy and just like how different the society there is from the society here, almost in a way. I didn't really have a title for it, but I was thinking about calling it like a love poem to Rome or something like that. Okay, alright, let me start. Skinny, winding, spiderweb streets, connecting, intertwining with colors that together I've never seen in such a vast city. Natural mixed with concrete, cobblestone with eucalyptus, classical with futuristic. Hand-rolled cigarettes in the mouths of street frisbee players. They had genuine fun in their faces and a carefree attitude. Blocking out the camostone faces, painting the streets with their own beliefs, without a care for what the building once was. They scratched their souls on the foundations of the Spanish Steps. A memorial for the soldier dying from great wars. They turn into their own art. The graffiti does not invoke fear. You can just see the pleas of the youth for change. They use the art as a way to show that they cannot hide from the truths behind Colosseum and Vatican walls. And when the paint drips off with the rain, the imprint of their image is forever marked on the buildings. That has more history than the most prized American landmark that we barely even think about laying our fingers on. Even though the landmarks share in our blood and we therefore have some ownership of it, we see them as though they are as sacred as the sun, not able to touch, and the slightest look makes it so you gave yourself too much privilege, causing blindness. When you go to the streets of Rome, the tallest windows aren't gated off. The steepest stairway is still in use. Our kindergarten restrictions from the New World are uplifted. You can swim where royalty swam. You can walk where conquerors walked. You can live in a dreamscape. Touch what thousands of past people touched. You can find yourself when searching through the buildings on Palisades Hill. Be truly independent and 3 pounds heavier from pasta. Alright, thank you.
Hi, my name is Sophie. This piece was really written a few months ago, but I think it's really fitting to the situation we're all in. It's titled Being Alive is Hope Enough. Please, let us take a moment to forget those cliche, inspirational quotes we've been taught our entire lives. Cursive writing over a night sky telling us that you can only see the stars in the dark. The bold fonts and nature scenes, there is only a rainbow after the rain. Please, remove these overused Instagram captions from your vocabulary because, like it or not, hope is not the light at the end of the tunnel or the sunshine after the storm. Hope is the candle already in your hand to help lead the way through these endless caverns. Hope is the faint glow of the sun or the moon and the stars behind the clouds of a summer squall. Hope is not the dove returning with the olive branch. It is Noah's reason to send the dove, even when the raven did not return. We go searching for hope in every corner of the world, not realizing it is already present in the warmth of our skin, the brightness of our eyes, the cool air in our lungs. Hope is every sensation we are able to feel. I, with my shaking hands and impassioned speech, I am hope, and you, stuck at home, mind half wandering, half listening to me, you are hope. Hope is us, and we are hope. Hope is my caring enough to speak, and your caring enough to listen. Hope is understanding and empathy. Hope is wanting to help and creating change. Hope is, hope is, hope is, hope is love, is breath, is life. My other piece is based on something said to me about how they really liked the noise of the band doing warm-ups. And as a member of the band, that kind of set me off guard, but I listened to it a bit more, and it is kind of a funky sound. My favorite song is the noise right before a high school band rehearsal. The chaotic melody of 13 different scales, all at different times, mixed with the occasional line of a piece from 3 concerts ago. Nutcracker fairies twirl from the flutes, and lion tamers bow with their beasts in the saxophone section. Johann is conducting the trumpets, and Copeland the horns. Then, if you have a good ear, you can pick up on some hearty chords from the low brass and their long tones, together creating a beautiful pandemonium of cadences, canons, chromatics. Only then can you finally understand the true voices of music and the true meaning of dissonance. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Matt, and I am the student who is lucky enough to thanks to Miss Rab, compile all of these videos into the long poetry reading that you're seeing right now. And I have 2 poems to share with you today. The first is entitled Parallel Universes. The definition of parallel is as follows: of lines, planes, surfaces, or objects side by side and having the same distance between them. The example sentence here is that parallel lines never meet. So for this long soliloquy of metaphor, I'm going to ask that you picture this: 2 lines. 2 never-ending lines moving in the same direction. Front to back, never-ending story. Now, I'm going to ask that you picture this. These lines are universes. One of the lines, we'll call it the left, because I can't remember the last time that I was actually right about something, is our universe. The left line is us. The right is a, now, don't know if you saw this coming, but parallel universe. You see, the joke here is that parallel and universe are probably the 2 most important words that I've said in this poem, and if you don't know that, then you clearly weren't paying attention. But anyways. Okay, left is us, right is the parallel universe. Neither lines intersect, ever. Now, if you think about it, the properties that go into making one straight line, assuming they're on the same plane and never cross, which in this case they are and don't, must go into making another. Due to all properties being the same, out of necessity, there is equilibrium. Now, let's throw in a new factor. My hair is brown instead of red. Gasp! I know, right? This is such a big no, I'm just pulling your leg. This isn't that big of a change, but this is a big difference in regards to the lines being parallel, at least. It is one little difference could disrupt the equal properties, knocking one of the lines off its axis and bam, universes collide. Therefore, all universes must be exactly the same, so there are, in theory, countless of versions of me doing exactly what I am now. There are countless of other versions of me that are also sad, that are also healing, and that are also alive. The only factor that can change freely is the movement of the point that is the present along one of these lines. Yes, both of these lines are infinite, but the present has to fall somewhere, so some lines may have points further along than others. So out there, I hope that there is a happy me. Happy, healed, and still very much alive. I know that no one can truly know the future, but like I said, I hope. If this concept is not proof that a tomorrow is out there, then I don't know what is, because like I just said, no one can really know what the future holds. I could be dead tomorrow. I may not know the mystery that is tomorrow, but at least I know that there is one. Thank you. The next poem that I have to share with you is entitled Kingdom Sound. I wrote it about my experience when I went to visit Alaska with my fellow classmates. This is actually originally a song, but in this case I feel like reading the lyrics could be a bit more applicable. In the Alaskan morning, a cascade of life makes music before me. The sound isn't strummed across different strings, not made of 1,000 things, but one lone melody. Solid and alive like I one day hope to be. As light shone early, only I get to see the kingdom's depth captured by my wakeful eyes. Who would have thought it, that a place made of music so soft and quiet could strike within so breathtakingly loud? A kingdom sound calls my name to a land where the trees all sway in the ballroom, towering mountains are colossal castles. One mustn't beg for breath, because the famine for air is in the past, nothing but everything. In the air that is half past spring, now I can finally see, just beyond the peak of Denali, what this life has waiting for me. In the Alaskan morning, I watch the world slowly transforming. The sun will not ever set. There is finally no need to fret for our lives. No need for an army in this place of tranquility. A palace with no walls is the only way to find serenity. In the land where we are all king, all that is left is to spread our wings and take this leap of faith. Who would have thought it, that a place made of music so soft and quiet could strike within so breathtakingly loud? A kingdom sound calls my name to a land where the trees all sway in the ballroom. Towering mountains are colossal castles. One mustn't beg for breath because the famine for air is in the past. Nothing but everything in the air that is half past spring, now I can finally see, just beyond the peak of Denali, what this life has waiting for me. My oasis, I've found it. Come live this life, be here with me too. This is no life without souls like you. Come with me, take my hand. If you're listening, I promise we'll land on our feet just beyond the peak of Denali. What this life has waiting for me and us is a bright future where we are alive. A kingdom sound calls our names to a land where we can all sway across the blue sky. Towering mountains are colossal castles. We needn't beg for breath because the famine for air is in the past. With the mist enclosing us, we'll survive so long as we trust the kingdom sound in the future where we are alive. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Rabideau, and I'm going to conclude with two poems. The first poem I'm going to read is an exercise I often give my creative writing students, which is writing with idioms. So I chose Apple of My Eye. And this poem is about raising children. It's about being a parent. It's about one day setting them free into the world as adults. You are the apples of my eyes, and quite often your seeds are spilling out. I try always to collect them, hide them just under the surface of silt, push dirt gently with my thumb to blanket the gems of rebirth. I try to save you all the time, the bits that flutter around, that get lost in the long grass. But my hands aren't big enough, arms never wide enough. Caring for the trees and the apples is daunting. Who put me in charge of this orchard? You did. You arrived, sweet and round and needing. Eventually, I'll take these old boots off, hang up the sod-stained overalls, go sit in the air-conditioned office, sipping coffee and calm. I'll watch from my window to marvel at the branches, the way your life changes hues, soaks the sun. Your stems will tell you when you are free. You will drop to the earth. You will be whole. My eyes will go empty to see you leave. The orchard will be here. Return when you can. Find me roaming the field, searching for seeds, for cores, for lone saplings. I'll be there, drifting, with apples in my eyes. Thank you. And the second poem is one I recently wrote for my sister, Marissa. Many of you know she has been battling cancer for many years, and she's just one of the most incredibly strong people I know in my life right now. So I write about her or to her quite often. And this one I wrote this morning. It's called Battle Song. I believe her lungs will win the quiet battle song composed beneath her skin. I believe if I focus the music just beside her heart, where her breath begins tempo, the cells will unfold their swords to slash the sickness, spacious and swinging across the stage floor. I beg the universe to give her good because she is good. Too good for all of the wars. Let her be, weapons scattered to the side. Let her be, under a spotlight circle, swaying with rhythm of strength and song. Thank you. I want to thank you all for joining us in this celebration of poetry and to conclude National Poetry Month. This group of students you have heard, they are not only dedicated to the art and truth of poetry, but they are also dedicated to each other. They support, encourage, and applaud each other throughout the entire school year, every Thursday in room 516. And Mr. Martelli and I are nothing less than proud of this incredible, talented group. Be well, write your hearts out, and thank you.